I feel like God just told me how to know if a man is of the devil. He plays with your mind. Just like Satan does. You know how Satan likes to come in and play with your mind, have you question everything? If that man is not godly, he doesn't walk in the right path with God, and he plays with your mind, he's from the devil. If he has you second guessing, he's from the devil. So just kill that delusion, kill that idea. If he's playing with your mind, he is of the devil. He's from the devil sent him. But the man that's for you, he's not going to play with your mind. He's going to take care of your heart. He's going to help aid in healing your heart. I hope this message helps somebody.
In today's video, I'm going to be telling you how to identify if the guy you're dealing with, the guy you're dating, talking to, or anyone was sent by the devil to destroy you. Stay tuned and watch this video to the end. There are a lot of people moving around with unclean spirits. So many unclean spirits, and you don't know how to discern the real from the fake. Not everyone coming to you is coming with the right intentions.
The best disguise for a demon is in a relationship. Hear me out when I say this. I'm going to say it again one more time so y'all can hear me. The best disguise for a demon is in a relationship. I say that because we would be dating these demonic ass people and not even realizing that we're dating them.
These are the signs you could be dating a demon. Somebody that want to keep you in one spot, under control. Because they know if you're doing stuff for yourself, you can have more and you won't need them. They want to be needed. So they keep you with no job, keep you sitting at home, always accusing you of somebody, and you ain't doing nothing. You don't know what's going on. The problem is that if you're doing stuff to help you, it helps you think better. And when a person doing for themselves, they see their worth. They don't want you to see that. They always mad about something. They angry about every little thing. Somebody speak to you, they accuse you of cheating. Your phone ring, you're cheating. You know what I'm saying? When you say no, they think you're cheating. They come to destroy you. That's the reason why some of y'all don't want nobody else, because of what somebody did to you. And you don't want to feel like a prisoner. You don't want to feel trapped. You don't want to feel like you're in a cage. They will keep you in a cage, especially somebody they really want, especially when you got a lot to give. Oh, yeah. They finna sit there and make sure you don't give it to nobody else. They gonna threaten you. You never know what these men or women going through at their house right now, man. They try to do their best, but it look like things don't work out. No matter how nice they try to be. It's like, my goodness is not accept. It's not, because evil don't accept good. Because when you good, you with God. You evil, you with the devil. So since you don't roll with the devil, you are enemy to them. So you think they want you to prosper with your blessing? That's why God holds so many things back from us, man. God don't give it to you. God already know you got a thief in your house. They ready to rob you. God already see what they thinking. He see them thoughts. You know what I'm saying? He know their heart. He try to get you to get away. That's why you have to lose to open your eyes up, to open your mind. You got to lose something to realize what you had. You got to realize that I had this before I met that. And this is the reason why God is holding it back. Because God want me in my right mind to give me something right on time. The truth hurt. Y'all better share this.
When you are dealing with someone, either romantically or as a friend, who is a host to a demonic entity, and this entity feels like that your energy has served enough, your energy has fulfilled them enough, and now they need to go on to the next target, they will literally start smiling in your face or smirking, knowing that they're hurting you. So for example, let's just say you've been dealing with someone for a long time, and towards the end you notice their behaviors change dramatically, like it's a complete 180. And when you're talking and maybe even arguing with this person, they have this little shitty smirk on their face. It's because that entity is in your face and they're like, yeah, I'm here, what are you gonna do about it? Or I'm here, you probably don't even notice me, do you? They can't help it. They can't even contain themselves.
Here are 5 ways you can tell if the person in front of you is an actual demon. Number 1, you can feel bad, dark energy radiating from them when you're around them. Number 2, they get so angry and defensive when the subject of God ever comes up. Number 3, they seem to have insane amounts of energy and superhuman strength. Number 4, and one of the most important ones on this list, they seem to have a narcissistic personality. It's like they have no empathy for anything or anyone. And number 5, you get a sense that they feel happy when you're struggling.
Good morning, you guys. I want to tell you the time that I saw a demon in my ex-boyfriend. Okay, so this was last year. I was living in Denver, and I was a flight attendant based in Denver, and I was living with my ex-boyfriend. So I didn't originally plan to live with him. The problem was I had no money and I became a flight attendant, and I won't go into that today, but being a broke flight attendant or becoming a flight attendant while not having any money, I would not recommend that anyone does that. It is a bad idea. Anyways, long story short, I started to live with him, and in the beginning things were going really good. But before, let me just say, I had kind of indications, I guess red flags, that I considered were like pink flags. Like it was okay. At the time, I convinced myself it was okay. Because for one, he was providing for me, and I didn't really have any family or any friends that could really help. And after going through that 6 week of critical training, I wasn't going to quit my job. Anyways, one of the big signs that I had recognized early on was we went to get some lunch or something, and he said something like, basically he didn't like me to say something because if I said something it would make the action happen. So what it was that I was on call, we're on reserve, and so while we're on call, he would hate that I would say, oh, we're going to get a trip or something, which was realistic because we could look at the list. And he'd be like, don't say this, da da da. Anyway, I didn't like his tone. So because I didn't like his tone, he got really upset, and I started seeing some narcissistic patterns. Like he would do something to trigger me, but then get mad at me for making me upset, you know? So it was very early, and I slowly throughout the relationship, I kept seeing more and more of this, you know, like he would do things to humiliate me or put me in a bad position because he knew probably I had nowhere to go. And then the crazy part was like he would switch. He would be that person, and then he would switch to the sweetest person. Like I'd come home from work and he'd had my bath water ran and he bought me a gift, and it was just mentally abusive. He's never put his hands on me, but mentally it was literally like I was dating two people, and I really didn't know who I was waking up to on what day of the week, to be honest. So yeah, unfortunately that led me to getting pregnant. Now when I got pregnant, you know, I talked about this before. When I got pregnant, I told him, and the first thing he said was like, I'm sorry, because we had the conversation that we didn't want to have kids. And the reality is I would watch shows and I would see what he said, and I was like, oh my God, I don't ever want this man to be the father of my child. Like I don't want anyone to think of my child as like their property, you know? Like I'm not a mom, but I think that's like the biggest task or purpose the Lord can give you is to, you know, to raise up another person. So I was like, oh no, I definitely don't want this man to be the father of my children. So when I found out, naturally I was devastated, but I also kind of was happy because, you know, I had already had miscarriages, and I was like, you know what, Lord, if this is your will, so be it. Little did I know. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to dry off. So we started getting into arguments because he's not saying for me to have an abortion, but he's implying it. Like, why do we need to have a child right now? And da 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 da. And to me, I don't understand that concept. I'm not judging anyone, but I don't understand that concept when people say, I don't know why we need to have a child right now. Like, once that life is created, it's a life. It's like if you plant a seed, it's gonna grow into an orange tree. If you plant an orange seed, it's an orange seed. It's a seed. So it's like once that seed's already planted, I don't understand this concept of like we can wait. It's not waiting because it already happened. If you wanted it to wait, then you should have got off of me. But I'm not blaming him. I'm obviously part of the problem. Anyways, so we're going back and forth at it, and he leaves one day because he would leave. I live in Houston. He lived somewhere else on the other side of the country, and so we lived together in Denver, but obviously that wasn't like our main home. It was just work. So fast forward, he leaves for a couple days, and I have this dream, and the dream that I have it was like an ultimatum. It's like the Lord was giving, or the enemy, I would say, it was giving me an ultimatum. I could see that there was my dad, my biological dad in the dream, and then I could see I had a son. I just knew it was my son. And it was kind of implying at the dream that you have to pick one. And I was kind of like, what? I wasn't as spiritually tuned as I was right now, but I was really getting into my spiritual bag, meaning like, I remember I was reading the Bible constantly, and it would make him real uncomfortable. I was watching Pastor Jerry Flowers on the TV screen in the living room. Like, I was in my bag. I knew that something wasn't right. Like, the whole time we were dating, I didn't think it was him. I do think the enemy sent him as a distraction, or like to steal what was in me, and just used him as a vessel. Not saying it was him. It was a spirit operating behind him. So I get this dream, and it's like an ultimatum of who to pick. And obviously I'm not picking. So, I get that dream, and at that time I wasn't in communication with my mom. Crazy thing, not even like a couple hours later, and I haven't talked to my biological dad in years. A couple hours later, I get a call from my big sister, who we share the same dad. And she's like, hey, I just want to let you know that your dad is in the ICU. And I am at a loss of words. I knew instantly, like, I had to be only a couple weeks. I knew instantly I was having a son. And I was at a loss of words of what to do. But I knew that I was just like, I gotta leave. Like, I gotta get out this house. Now, my ex was supposed to be gone for 4 days. For whatever reason, I call him and I tell him, and he's just being like a jerk. He's like, I'm gonna call you back. He never called me back. He's not concerned. Before he left, I was like, hey, are you coming to the first doctor appointment with me? And he said something along the lines like, I don't want to be a part of this or whatever. Say less. I knew that God was doing work in me, so I wasn't really too worried that he wouldn't be a part of it. Down the line, as I got more scared than I was, but in the beginning, I was kind of like, you're going to have to do what you have to do. Anyway, as a flight attendant, we can book flights, obviously, for free. So I had booked several flights, like a 4 a.m. flight, a 7 p.m. flight. I booked like several flights in order for me, and I packed my stuff in order for me to leave. Now, one day had gone by, and I don't know if maybe I was such in fear, or like the stress had me debilitated. So I wasn't doing anything. I was just sleeping. Like, it all of a sudden, the pregnancy symptoms really hit me, and I was just sleeping. So as I'm sleeping, the second day, it's a day after I had that dream, I have another dream. And in the dream, the Lord shows me my ex. Half of his face is his face, and the other side is a demon's face. Like, really ugly, really scary, really like two people. When I tell you, like, it really replicated who he was, because he was two people, and I would say that all the time, like, you're two people. And he's a Gemini, and I'm not really big into horoscopes, but there was no lie told there. Side note, I always attract a lot of Geminis, and I'm learning that those are the spirits operating behind them, and how they're two different people. Not, that's my personal preference. But anyway, I see it, and now I'm scared of him. I'm scared out of my mind. I'm scared to the point I hadn't talked to my mom the whole year. I call my mama. Now, when I call my mom, I tell my mom my dream. My mom's like, you got to get out of there. I went back to sleep. I was so tired. I didn't want to go wait at in the airport on standby that I went back to sleep. Now, when I went back to sleep, I heard an audible voice, very audible voice of the Lord. And I knew it was God. He said, Natalie, get up. I woke up like panicked, scared out my mind. And within half an hour, I was in a Uber. And I grabbed my dog and I packed everything that I could pack, and I was gone. I was out. I was at the airport, and I remember texting him and telling him, like, thanks for everything that you've done, but I'm leaving. And I mean, he gave me a response that triggered me. I'm not gonna lie, I said some really mean things, and I used to feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it anymore. But yeah, and God showed me that I was not tripping, that he had spirits operating behind him, and probably still does.
To know when somebody has demons or demons inside of them. Somebody who's been possessed by demons, man, y'all better buckle up because it's about to get deep. Number one, how to know if somebody has demons is whenever they walk into a room, the whole room, I'm talking about the whole thing, like a dark cloud of sadness over them, or this anger that just follows them through the door. Like always in a bad mood, always negative, always depressed. Like when they walk in, it's a huge shift. They are definitely in habits of a demon. The demons are disembodied spirits that need our vessels to, like, the desires that to make us feel, like for us to form their will. You know what I'm saying? Like they believe wrong is right. They believe that the demon has taken over that vessel to use you in your mind. And it just became an organic portal. Are you with me? Like, number two, the demons are always, they want your consciousness. Mind control. So, for example, conviction, and when you're not justified for what you're doing. So when someone is deliberately doing wrong and it feels like there's nothing wrong with it, that's a demon, y'all. That's a demon using them. For real. And to where that demon will come in and access them in their body, because you're giving them legal access, because that's what the demon wants you to do. It wants your conscious so they can manipulate and hop in your vessel and steal and just take complete control over you. And it's a portal that's open. And number three, whenever you are kind to somebody, it angers them. Now this is one of my favorite, because when you're kind to them and they're angry and more frustrated, that's a demon. They have a demon. What human gets angry whenever you're nice to them, bro? It's like you're watching this video and you're mad. Like I'm smiling, filled with joy, happiness, prayer, glowing, and somebody is angry. Those are demons in that person, because only demons hate love. They hate joy. They hate peace. They hate. Anything that's from God, they hate. They cannot stand it. Like they'll start like being weird or like irritated, like you know, like somebody got a demon in them. That's another sign. And before, a permanent contorted face. You ever see somebody, right? And they just look like like that's what demons do. And like they contort like they have all type of things and all type of face. Like I remember someone smiled and it smiled all the way up to here, like that demon face syndrome, right? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. That's a demon, bro. Like they're in that body and they're driving that thing. That demon's hosting that body. Like if that thing got enough like divination in your face, like it's so weird to how to explain it, but it's like a low frequency. Like we can't even recognize it. Like they gonna look, if they get delivered, man, you best believe they gonna look like a whole new person if you deliver them. Multiple demons for that matter. And here's the last one right here. The eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. I know y'all heard this. Are y'all with me? The eyes are the windows to the soul. Like I'm talking about, I had discernment, right? Like I didn't have it for that long, but the first time I ever seen someone in their eyes and they had evil in their eye, it scared me. I was so scared. Like I was so scared, y'all, because you just see the evil. Like the eyes tell a story. The eyes do tell a story. But yeah, y'all follow, y'all share. Come on, man. Let's get it.
I never gave her safety. I never gave her stability, because safety and stability meant that she could relax and pause. And a woman who feels safe might realize that she doesn't need me. So I kept her off balance. I created chaos inside the entire relationship, created fights over nothing. One day sweet, the next day cruel, going back and forth. And so she stayed second guessing herself, stayed working, stayed focused, trying to work harder and fix herself, trying to figure out what version of me she'd get, never understanding, never knowing. And I controlled her by keeping her anxious. Because the last thing I needed and last thing I wanted for her to feel steady enough to actually walk away from me. The worst part inside of this is I knew exactly what I was doing because I chose it. Because a stable woman can't be manipulated, but an anxious one stays locked into a relationship much longer than what they want to be. Is the guy in your life doing this to you today?
Is that you cannot reason with them. When you come across somebody and their will opposes God's will and you cannot reason with them, the main sign you're dealing with somebody who's demonically oppressed or possessed is that you can never reason with them. And their will opposes God's will. They don't want to listen to scriptures. They don't want to see you prosper in what God has planned for you. Whenever you're trying to reason with them, whenever you're trying to come to a common ground, if they can't weasel their will into it, or if they can't have their way that opposes God's will, they want nothing to do with it. The devil can only hide in lies. When truth comes, truth brings light. Truth brings deliverance. Nothing can hide when the truth comes, when the truth appears. So the devil can't hide in the truth. He can't do it. This is why whatever person you're dealing with, they're constantly combative. They're constantly going against you. They don't want to hear the word of God. They don't want to listen to you talk about what God is doing for you, or what God is telling you, or where God is leading you, and they don't want it to see it prosper. A lot of people are in darkness. So when you find that you cannot reason with somebody, you have to understand what's going on. That's a spiritual war. That is warfare taking place. Because what pride does is it blinds you. And when somebody is saying yes to pride, you inviting all kinds of demonic beings into your vessel to easily drive you. Because you don't want to listen to God. You harden your heart. And notice, a lot of times, the people that's demonically possessed and oppressed, people that you can't reason with, a common thing you're going to see is a hardened heart. So ask yourself, are they truly submitted to God? Do they want to see me walk in God's purpose? Do they want to walk in God's purpose? Is it always some type of confliction? Is it hard for them to sit under the word of God? There's always chaos. There's always confusion. There's always something with this person, and they refuse to repent. They refuse to turn from their ways. They refuse to see outside of themselves. That is a clear sign that somebody is demonically oppressed and possessed. So when you see that, when the Lord is calling you out of that, you get out. You pray for that person, so you make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Your heart is not being hardened towards them. You're not taking on unforgiveness and bitterness, but you keep it moving. You keep it pushing. But the more you pour into a dead situation, all you're going to do is be holding yourself back. All you're going to be doing is keeping, yourself in bondage to the person. Whenever it was time for Lot to leave Sodom and Gomorrah, what he was trying to do? He was like, oh no, we could stay for a little bit. The angels had to come and tell him, no, we got to go. We about to burn this place down. This place is done for. And Lot had to see for themselves when them people was knocking on his door, trying to have sex with the angels. And he's like, oh yeah, we got to go. How much wickedness do you got to see from this person for it to click in your mind? So just ask yourself, do they will goes against God's will? Do they want clarity, or do they want confusion? Do they want their will, or do they want God's will? And it becomes very apparent when you start to see which side that they on.
These men are demonic entities sent to destroy your purpose. This is warfare. It is warfare. When a man does not want you to progress in your careers, when they encourage you to refuse good opportunities, when they encourage you to drop out from masters, to drop out from your BSc, to drop out from your PhD program, you have married a demonic entity.
Honestly, it's literally just as plain as simple as having discernment, which is basically when God reveals things to you through the Spirit.
These are the signs that the man you're dealing with is sent by the devil. And I'm going to be using scripture from the Bible to tell you guys the signs the man you're dealing with is a devil's agent from the kingdom of darkness, a weapon fashioned formed against you. Get a piece of paper, get a pen, and jot things down. Sign number 1, he leads you away from God. Matthew 7 verse 15 says, watch out for false prophets, for they come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. Watch out for false prophets, for they come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. If his actions, words, or influence causes you to compromise your faith and drift away from God, He's not aligned with God's purpose for your life. The second point is he creates chaos and disorder in your life. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33, for God is not a God of disorder but of peace. So if this guy is bringing confusion, chaos, disorder, he doesn't bring you peace. He's not from God, he's from the devil. Anything that comes with chaos and confusion and cannot give you peace, happiness, or joy, it is not from God, it's from the devil. A man sent by the devil will bring confusion, strife, and drama into your life, disrupting your peace and focus from God. The next point is he is deceptive and manipulative. John 8 verse 44 says, he was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth. There is no truth in him. This Bible verse describes the prince of all lies when Jesus states, for when he lies, he speaks his native language. For he is a liar and the father of all lies. Who was Jesus talking about? The devil. So if you're dealing with a guy who lies, consistently lies, manipulates, and uses deceit to control situations in his favor, this is a clear sign that his intentions are not from God. The next sign is extreme cruelty, malice, and no remorse. This guy has no empathy, a deep sense of hatred towards sacred or spiritual things, sudden change of behavior and personality. He suddenly becomes violent out of nowhere. Unnatural strength or behavior, obsessive interest in dark and occult practices with charms and all of these things which have to do with occultism. If he even involves himself in occultism, this man is of the devil. He's capable of anything. A man who is willing to sacrifice his soul for money can sacrifice anyone for money. And this is not a man from God. A lot of men who are diabolic, and a lot of women need to stop ignoring this aspect. So many men are into occult practices. So many men are in cults. They have involved themselves in dark ritual, sold their souls to the devil in order to make money, in order to be rich, in order to be famous, in order to achieve certain things in life. And some of you are the target. You are the target for these men to use as bait and enrich themselves. You women need to be very careful. Some of these men are not coming with the right intentions. Some of them come to take your star, to take your glory, to use your destiny, take whatever they can take from you and leave. You need to be prayerful. You need to be careful. Pray for discernment. Let God show you who is real and who is fake. Because the devil doesn't come looking like a monster, but he comes looking like everything you ever wanted. He doesn't come looking like a red monster with horns, the way they taught us as children. He comes looking like an angel, like everything you ever want. This is why even a man who is going to hurt you will come looking like your type. The devil will not send you the type of guy who you're not going to like. He knows what you like, so he's going to send you your type. He will send you a nice, cute guy, chocolate, tall, dark-skinned boy, looking very handsome, with a nice smile, an amazing body, everything that you like. This man is going to come standing in front of you, and you'll be thinking, oh, it's a package sent from heaven. No, cross-check it. Sometimes it's a package from the kingdom of darkness to destroy you. The same way God uses people to bless others is the same way the devil uses people to destroy others. Sometimes this man is coming to destroy you. This type of man will come right at the moment where you're about to have your breakthrough. The moment God wants to bless you, the moment God wants to elevate you to something else, this type of man just comes and derails you, and before you know it, you're involved with him, and everything you've been praying for God to give you is being disrupted because this man has caused you to drift away from God, to drift away from your source. Now you're distracted. Instead of thinking about praying, instead of thinking about focusing on the things that are going to elevate you, give you more money, and help you grow spiritually and even financially, you're focused on this man cheating. You're focused on him beating you up. You're focused on the trauma and the stress he's making you go through. You're focused on your relationship. Your whole focus is on your relationship. And this is what the devil comes to do. He will send you a man who's going to distract you and derail you from the things that matter, the things you have to focus your energy on. You need to be very careful. This thing I'm saying it like I'm joking, but I'm very serious. There are a lot of women who have not been able to get back on track because they were dealing with a man who was sent by the devil. Some of these men are diabolic. Some of these men actually come with evil intentions. You need to be careful. This is not even about a hate men video. No, I'm serious. There are a lot of men who do occult practices. They use women as targets. They use even their own friends as targets. So you should be very careful. There are men who have conditions from the kingdom of darkness to manipulate women, to use women, to take whatever they want from women because you are the source of life. Some of them are evil. They are wolves dressed in sheep's clothing, just like the Bible says it. But this man is a predator in disguise, coming to prey from you, an energy vampire, coming to drain you, coming to take from you. That's why when you deal with this type of man, it's like they have some kind of bad luck energy around them, and out of a sudden things about you begins to fail. It's like they transfer some of the bad luck they have to you. You're manifesting the same energy they are manifesting in. Sex is very spiritual, and even being in a relationship with a man is very spiritual. Be careful with who you open your legs to. That's why I'll tell every one of you to stay celibate. You will not die. Stay celibate. Keep yourself for the right man who deserves you, or keep yourself till you're married. A lot of these men, they carry unclean spirits, evil spirits. They are going through things. Some of these men have demons that they are battling with. Some of them are even battling with their sexuality. And then you, a woman, you carry your clean spirit, you go and sleep with them, and they transfer all negative energy they have been carrying on you. They transfer all of this negative energy on you. Some of the bad luck, the disturbances, the chaos that is going on in their lives, they transfer it to you. And now you don't know why your things are not moving the way you used to move. You're not manifesting in the energy you're supposed to manifest. It's because you slept with the devil. How can you be sleeping with the devil and you're expecting things to go well in your life? The man you're sleeping with is the devil. That is the devil. That's the devil you're dealing with. So just being around him drains you, drains everything about you. Your energy, your finances, your happiness, your joy, everything that makes you you, he drains it. I always tell women this, like, you need to be very prayerful. In this day and age, if you're not prayerful, the devil will make a big fool out of you with the people who he sends your way. The people who you love sometimes, they are the people the devil will use to destroy you. Pray for the spirit of discernment, to be able to know what is real from what is fake, to know good people from bad people, good men from bad men. Because nowadays, even the bad guys know how to act like good men. And the mask falls off. Before you know it, you're dealing with the devil. So check your gut feeling. If something feels wrong to you, or if something feels off about this person, don't ignore it. Sometimes they may not be demonic, but they could be harmful to you. How do you feel after spending time with them? Do you feel drained, anxious, or scared? And are other people comfortable around them? All of these things matters. Are there patterns of harm in their previous relationships? Investigate this man. Does this guy have a history of using women, manipulating women, beating women, or being abusive towards women? Investigate his history with women he has dealt with, and you're going to know who you're dealing with. The way this man has treated women in his past says a lot about him. History of manipulation, abuse, lies, deceit, crime, all of these things. He's not a man sent from God. God will not even send you that type of man. Demonic men are going to prey on you when you're vulnerable, when you're in crisis. That's when they are going to prey on you. When you're manifesting on a lower vibration, they'll prey on you pretending to be a rescuer, pretending to be a Prince Charming, your knight in shining armor. You're going to be thinking this man is a perfect man, when indeed he's a predator. It's very unwise to let strangers into your life when you're vulnerable. Most of these men, they know how to play the game. They know they cannot get you hooked if they drop their mask fast. They are going to play themselves down to make you feel safe, so you can let your guard down, trust them, open up to them. Some of these men will mirror you so that they can forge intimacy faster, so that you guys can have something to bond over. They will play the victim, pretend to be hurt from past previous relationships. He's going to act like a broken, unhealed child so that you can feel pity for him. He's obnoxious and narcissistic, love bombing you with care, attention, and all of these good things in the beginning, only to take it away when you've gotten attached, to further abuse you. Everything this man does is to use it against you tomorrow. These people know you're not going to accept abusive behavior. This is why they will play themselves down and jump to your rescue and show you good behavior at first to gain your trust, so that you don't see them as abusive. This is an attachment or dependency formed before the abuse begins, so that after the abuse, you're going to be holding on to who you were dealing with before the abuse. This is why a lot of victims who go through abuse always run back to their abuser, because they had formed a dependency from the beginning. They had created an attachment, a toxic attachment, a trauma bond from the beginning, making it hard for you to fully let go of this person. So every time they abuse you, every time they hurt you, you keep running back to them because you're holding on to that fake personality which you were dealing with in the beginning. You're holding on to the fantasy of what could have been if this abuse did not take place. But this is who you're dealing with. You're dealing with the devil. This attachment or dependency is formed before the abuse begins. So if you're dealing with a lot of confliction, or if you're really conflicted, you may be dealing with a male demon in disguise. The devil always wants to control you. And the push-pull method is a method used by demonic men, abusers, toxic men. They want to control you. It's about controlling you. After they have formed an attachment with you and made you let your guard down with them, They start testing you to see how under their spell you are, testing to see how deep you're falling in love with them, to see how their spell is working on you. They start triangulating you with other women, belittling you, start arguments from nowhere. This is often used as an excuse to go and text the side chick or the other women they are dealing with. Find them doing sneaky shit, putting their phones down, lingering in the bathroom, on the corridor at night. Men who are demonic need constant validation. They need constant attention, even if it's negative. These are the type of men who are dealing with numerous women. They have a lot of porn addictions. They are into vile sexual acts with women. They are into incest. These are the type of men who will pressure you to have a baby. They want to trap you with a child. Putting a child in you is a fetish to them. Putting a child in you is an ego-feeding complex to them. They try to isolate you and gaslight you, make you question your reality. But don't isolate yourself. Keep in touch with people they don't know about. They purposely isolate you to make sure you're weak, and so that you don't have a support system when they are abusing you. They want you to rely only on them for everything. They'll sabotage your character and try to make you feel like you're not doing enough for them. Because low-key, they want you competing with the person you don't know nothing about. They want you competing with their side chick, which you don't know of. Another thing demonic men do when they don't get their way or their scheming doesn't work for them is they raise their voice at you. They just automatically raise their voice at you, start shouting, disrespecting you, kicking things, breaking things. They will outrightly disobey your boundaries. They don't respect your boundaries. They fully believe that they are above you, and they believe that you cannot do anything. So they will disrespect you, disobey your boundaries, and do whatever they want to do. Some of these men will abuse you. Some of these things is a test to see how you're going to respond, see if you're weak. They exercise their power and their control on you. These cycles want to scare you. They carry a dark energy within them, and they find pleasure scaring you. Your pain gives them pleasure. When someone has a demon in them, right, they love to cause pain. They love to cause people pain. This is one thing you need to know. Any man who has a demon within him, a man who is demonic, who is evil and cruel, he enjoys causing pain. He enjoys inflicting pain, be it emotional, be it physical, be it sexual. He enjoys pain in one way or the other, and he loves to inflict pain on others. There was this guy who did an interview, and he said a demon's food is a human being's pain. What feeds the demons is your pain. That is why they use people to inflict pain on others, because that is how they feed from your energy.
And their whole language hurt my body every time they talked. Every time they talk.
So you never understood what they were saying.
Oh yeah, you understand everything. I'm gonna use the term. You overstand everything that they saying. What they was communicating back and forth, they were calling us stupid humans. When they were grabbing and torturing humans and doing all type of things, they were calling us stupid, and they were laughing. They laughed, they enjoy it. Because what I found out and what I saw myself through my experience is that they get energy off our pain. They eat it. It's a form of food to them. It's like a drug to them. They get high off of it. That's why they're here on earth. They keep us depressed, angry, full of anxiety, because they're feeding off that. That's their food. They literally eat that. So they cause situations for you to feel that way so they can eat. They eat off that. And in hell, they have an abundance, nonstop supply of food, because all they do is torture. They say if your arm gets ripped off, your arm will grow right back. Rejuvenate. And it happens over and over and over again. Like I say, I saw tons of people there where they were ripping over their mouth and pouring hot lava down their throats. They'll melt and they'll come right back and they'll do it all over again. And then they invite other demons to come and get turned. Like I was also mentioning about promiscuous women who were there and men. But I saw my experience. I saw majority of what I saw with the women being raped by demons. This one lady was being raped and tortured so bad sexually that I'm not going to say it on here, but it's beyond horrible. But I'm talking about, yeah.
Do not fall for their gaslighting, because once you depart from reality, you're finished. Do not fall for their guilt tripping, because they'll try to guilt trip you to the things they once did to you, to the kind things they once did to you. Stop falling for the guilt tripping. It was grooming. It was scheming, straight scheming. Do not fall for their monologues of how ungrateful you are or how they are in high demand. If they were in high demand, they would have left already. They won't be clinging on to you. Stay away from demonic men. Keep them blocked. Do not for 1 second believe that he will change or that you're a unicorn and he will magically change. He's a sucker. He's an energy vampire, and he just wants to suck the life out of you. So besties, we'll come to the end of this amazing video. I hope you learned so much from this video. I don't want to make this video so long, but I believe all the points which have been laid out will help you guys. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Drop your experiences. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.